You're in the studio.
It's 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. You're on YouTube and Facebook Live. It's called Dialogue with Dozer. We've been doing this show now for about 2 years, or is it 3 years? This is the third year of the dialogue. And we have a return guest, two return guests tonight to make it a great show. We're excited. You're here. They're here. We're going to have a good time tonight. The show was touted as a hot button Monday, but some of the events, such as a certain football team in a certain city called Duval, one got in the finals, got in the championship game, and we're going to talk about the Jacksonville Sharks. We're going to bring our big brother on. I say our big brother. I'm trying to listen. You have to put up with me. I now know how Michael Jordan feel. I should see him play at the UC, and then you see him after the game. Didn't Michael take a shower? He'd be sweating. Well, that's what I just did. I'm off the football field 45 minutes ago. Ran in the shower, threw some water, and I'm trying to work through this heat. So y'all bear with me. I think a lot of people down here dealing with that. But anyway, tonight's show, we got two great guests. First half of the show, our big brother. When I say our big brother, not only mine and KV's, but Anthony's big brother, Tim Johnson. We work with him at the for the Jacksonville Suns, as we grew up at the Wilson Ballpark. I think that property is now being used by the Jaguars as a practice field, but we were over there together. Probably 9 years of my life between selling pop, then being a bat boy, and then working in the clubhouse. And my brothers followed and did everything I did, and they left it. And we were with Tim Johnson probably 9 or 10 years of our lives. And now he and Anthony, our middle brother, is real close with him. They see each other with the Sharks. Anthony is a season ticket holder and a big-time Shark fan. And Tim Johnson is the senior vice president of the Sharks. He was the GM for the Jacksonville. He works to the GM, Jacksonville Suns. He is the senior vice president of the Sharks, and he's going to come on, and we're going to talk about what's exciting, what's going on with them. Tim, what's up, baby?
What's up, buddy? Hey, we took the hand of God to get on here tonight.
All right. Can I see your face? I'm looking at your ear. I think the camera is looking.
Boo.
Yeah, hey. All right. Yeah, Tim, we got a Jacksonville Sharks hat on. Thanks for joining us. Listen,
well,
I knew he was busy. I knew it was a gamble. He and I talked a couple of weeks ago while I was in Duval, but I didn't know we'd be calling. And I said, let me see if we can get Tim on the show tonight to talk about, and let's see if we can pack that thing, the Veterans Coliseum, and have an overflow crowd on Saturday. Tim, what's the excitement factor there in Duval for the Sharks right now?
Oh, Bud, has it been exciting from the start of off season to getting started to preseason to where we're at today. It's been we got us a new coach, which has done a fabulous job, and he's a Christian, thank God. He's put together a young team, but the young team and the veterans meshed together. And this team is the only team that can beat this team is this team. That's the only guys that can beat us.
Who you guys playing?
Carolina.
Carolina. Okay. All right. So the championship game is Saturday night at what time is that, Tim?
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock. Okay. So here's the deal. If you're in Duval, he's going to tell you about ticket sales and all of that. But if you're anywhere but Duval and can't get to Duval, can't get up to Jacksonville, then he'll tell you where to find the game, because that's where I've been looking at it. Lately, Anthony will tell me, listen, we're up, and I remember to turn the game on. So Tim, tell them all the ticket information and anything about ticket sales to get them there if you can.
Ticket sales are going very, very good. And if you want to call our ticket office or the Sharks office, 62107, and it'll prompt you to go to ticket office or my office, or just go to the prompt and listen, and you can get there. Tickets are going fast. But this is surprisingly. You know, we haven't been since we've won 3 championships, but we haven't been since 2019. So get your tickets. There's good tickets still available. And if you're in the Orange Park, you can call in and get them, or they can tell you how to. I'm not a ticket guy, but they can tell you how to go online and pick them off. So if you want information, just give us a call tomorrow. You still got plenty of time to get the tickets to you. And most of the time, I'm not like I told those Helen before. I'm not a mechanical guy on this phone here, but you go to this phone, they put your tickets on this little telephone right here, and you go to the game and just boom, just show me there, and I go, wow, you mean that gets you in? And so if I need that way, I'd never get in.
They call it an e-ticket, Tim. The ticket goes right to your phone, and those scanning machines just scan your phone. Man, technology is we know what it's likely coming to biblically, but right now we're going to roll with it like it is.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Just enjoy.
We don't want that part, do we?
Yes, that's right. That's right. That's right.
But anyway, if I didn't have credentials, I couldn't get in the building.
Oh, okay. So Tim, what is you guys' record right now?
We're 13 and 2. 13-3.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we started off, lost 2 games, and then we went on a run, and we played all of our second guys and let all of our guys rest the other night, and went up to Carolina, and they beat us. So if we'd have had our regular team in there, we'd have probably beat them by 20 points. So
that was the game you guys played week before last?
Correct.
Okay.
We played Orlando here, beat them 62-18. And then we went to last weekend, we went to Carolina, and they beat us up there. So it's a rematch. We give you 1 and we'll take 2.
All right. So they're because as I understand it, you guys had won home field advantage throughout the playoffs a couple of weeks ago. And so they got to come down to Duval for this big game.
And the thing too is during that time, during the time that we went on a winning streak, we had 7 guys out at one time, Dozie, with injuries, and we've just now got a couple, 3 or 4 guys back. So it's what's that old thing? Don't do the 2-step, but do the step up. When you get somebody,
right.
Don't do that step back up and do the Macarena. Do that step up. And do the job.
So I don't want to put a jinx on and get too far ahead of time. But let me ask it like this, retrospectively. When you guys won in 2019, was there a ticker tape parade? How was that celebrated?
We did have one. We did,
right.
And we're going to maybe approach this new mayor and see if she likes football.
Well, I tell you what. Here's how this works.
She'll be in there. No, she's not in yet, is she?
Yeah, she was inaugurated a few weeks ago.
Oh, that's right. Okay, see how much I know about politics?
Yeah, and Kim. But anyway, Kim provided security during her race. So
hear that?
Yes, so you can always
listen. That whole family, real quick. This whole family I've known since 1970s, and what a wonderful family. Their dad was with the Police Athletic League. The mom, matter of fact, I gave them a dog one time, and these people here are the sweetest. listen, if you're listening to this, people here, they're for real,
Oh, bless you,
and
Tim.
and God loves them, and they love God, and they taught me a lot of things back whenever I was with them. I was a wildcat. These guys were smart, sharp, young guys, and still kicking.
Bless you, Tim. What you know what I like about you, man, is that, well, first of all, social media has reunited a lot of people. I mean, it's like money. People talk about money is the root of all evil. No, money is not the root of all evil. The love of money, or the love of a car, the love of anything above the love of God is
Sure.
evil. But we social media has brought a lot of factions together. We've done a mini show on it one time. I connected with a group of Landon Junior High School, Sandalwood. Of course, I was a part of Sandalwood. That was the first group to go through high school. Back then, it was 10 through 12. I think it's 9 through 12 now. And we're coming up to our 50th reunion. Don't try to figure out my age, Dozy Land, because I started school. I didn't start school at the right age, so don't try to pick with the age. But social media has done a lot of that. And that Anthony had been telling me his association with Tim. Tim has stayed in Jacksonville and stayed around. I know the last show you talked about how you had gone some other places and been GMs, but you're back in town, never got too far away. And there you are now. You've been a part of a professional, well, a professionally ran product that the Sharks are. A lot of teams drop out of the league, but the Sharks are always there. They're always ready. You guys take fans out of town. Just a sharp operation, and I marvel and just thank God for you. You've always been a Christian brother, and just like a big brother for us, man. And just
I love you guys, just like you're my own. If you're always welcome. We don't get to see each other a lot because you guys stay busy and I stay busy. I've been in this business for 33 years in football, baseball, hockey, and boxing. I was back. I think we talked about Roy Jones before when
yes.
fighting the basketball game with him. And there's another class act, young guys. A lot of you young guys that I watch you grow. You gave me a lot of things to think about. Seriously.
Well, you know what's funny is I was in the supervisory elections office a couple of times up in Duval over the last year actually, and I saw a name on the wall. I said, "Not Richard Cruz, Is this Richard Kravitz that used to be the general?" They say yes, and I happened to have been there about a month ago, and he had just retired the week before.
Yeah, he was in the House of Representatives too, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was a city councilman. When I was getting ready to leave, he was entering into politics. Then he became a House of Representatives, and then I think he retired from politics, and then was hired as the supervisor of elections office. So he's always been civic minded, and to have left Philly to come down to work with the local AA franchise is just awesome. Tim, let's get back on the Sharks. So how many returning players do you have from last year? I think you're upside down.
Like three or four, Dozy. I mean, I'm still learning the guys' names.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Yeah. So how closely are you able to stabilize that device? Is it a phone you're using there? It's moving.
I'm just moving. I had to put my battery. I had to recharge. Put my battery charge. I'm fine.
Oh, okay, now. Okay. So Tim, how close do you actually get to work with the guys? I understand the product as a close fan interaction. The fans come down on the field after the game and buy jerseys and stuff like that. So how close do you get to work from your level
I'm very close with the guys. I do their food. I do their housing with our coach Gibson, and I do the motel. I do all their food and stuff. So I get their medical stuff for them, and we do some stuff with some local car people that fix their cars when they have some trouble. So wow. They know me better than I know them, but I'm getting close to most of them now. But I could probably name 3, 4. But that's how we turned over last year, and this team has really put it together.
So now I'm expecting that this time next week it'll be a second championship in 4 years. Do the guys usually? Do they stick around town, or do they go back to where? How do they do?
Yeah, they do. got a lot of guys that want to stay here with, but some of the guys are from here. We got quite a few guys from here. I can name you one: Solomon, uh, Gilbert from Florida.
Okay.
So we've got a few guys that live here that we've picked up. They live here, so they won't have to have housing, and plus they already work. And this is a job that they'll, especially the guys that are in coaching in school. We have some coaches in school that we picked up, and they get off in the summer, So this is perfect for them, summer football.
So what percentage of the guys what percentage of them will will try out to try to get in the league or some other leagues? How does that work out?
There's pretty good. Casanova, our quarterback, he's going to the XL. He's had an offer from them, so he's going up there after the season's over here. Then you have some guys in Canadian Football League, and the Jags even peek at our guys every now and then. They come over and take a look at them.
So so Tim, what is and I know I knew you were doing public relations at one point with the Suns. What is the relationship at that level of pro sports as compared to like the NFL or the NBA? What's the fan interaction and appearances they make around town on behalf of the organization and stuff like? How does that work out?
Well, it's according to you get personal with our guys. You get more personal than any other sports with arena football. It's tough to have an NFL player stand there with you for a while, but it's it's uh, it's really, I think hockey and arena football are the two most that you can get the players. Is that what you're trying to ask me? How the fans, how do they? And you got to like arena football fast and furious because you don't have 3-4 steps in like you do in the pros. You only got maybe 1.5 in the arena football. So, and plus your guys, some of these guys are big guys out of the NFL, and some of them are guys that are wanting to see if they can make it back to the NFL, and there's some that will. We've got, matter of fact, we've got the one guy. I think Gilbert could. There's a couple of our guys. Solomon could play. I think I don't think he'd be a starter, but I think he'd be a positional guy.
So one of the things I guess I know is that your guys or you guys play in a league in one of many arena leagues. Approximately how many other arena leagues are there around?
I would say actual real arena leagues. I'd say there's 4. Then there's a lot of just catch-ons that you got. These are guys that want to be owners and want to be arena football league teams. But you got our league, you got the indoor arena league, and then you got the a indoor arena league. So then now that I understand, which I won't linger on it very much here, but the arena football leagues wanting to come back, and they say they have 16 teams. I mean, I don't see it right now, but you know how fast you can put together a league, and a lot of those guys. It's not the group of whenever we were in the Arena Football League. We was on the National Football League television, and on ESPN. That's because you had guys that owned like the Boston Bruins, the Celtics, the Tampa Bay Bucks. They had teams in that league. Tampa Bay had the Storm, the Predators. Those guys own their own buildings and their football uh, operations, Dozy. So this isn't. I've been looking at the teams they're naming, and they haven't named very many, but they say they've got 16. But guys with money don't play hide and go seek. They come out strong.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Is there ever a time or a thought, Tim, that some of the leagues like want to? I know like before the NFL and the AFL merged. I know that sounds funny to a lot of people. That just shows how long we've been around. That they used to play the Pro Bowl, where the NFL would play the AFL All Stars.
Yeah. And that's so you're exactly right. What was it? Green Bay and Kansas City.
Right, that was the first Super Bowl. That was the exact first Super Bowl. But Jacksonville actually used to host that was a real Pro Bowl game where the two leagues play each other.
A lot of guys, Joe Namath, met a lot of those guys. As a matter of fact, I was doing radio back then, and I met a lot of Ben. What's his name? Played for Oakland.
Okay.
But then they had. Oh wow, They had a lot of players. I have pictures. I'm kind of went blank here, but Namath was on that team. I met Hank.
Name
He coached. He
Daryl
coached the
LaMonica. Can you believe
Carolina
this?
Monica. A lot of big. Hey, a lot of big names from the Bulls to the NFL.
I remember that. So I picked up the phone one time and called the Robert Meyer Hotel and asked to speak to Daryl LaMonica. He picked up the phone, and I told him that I would be selling pop at the game. And after he's played in the game, he's out, pretty much not going back in. Could I come down and get his autograph? And I identified how I looked, and he actually fulfilled that end of the deal. That was a pretty neat moment. But I just wondered if any of those other arena leagues would ever want to play you guys as champions.
Going back to that, actually, there was talk of Jacksonville. The Jags buying them back when what's his name on the team? There was talk of mergers. There was talk of Tampa Bay taking Tampa and Orlando getting a team and the Dolphins taking. They were talking of pretty heavy about it. And then I think it just fell through. Some of the guys that wanted to join that would have been partnership of the AFL kind of, did like a Donald Trump deal and wanted to kick you out and would take over. So you know what I mean? And that didn't happen. Those guys these NFL owners, they got more money than some sports teams put together 100 times over.
Yeah, so players are millionaires, but those guys are billionaires, right?
You're right.
So,
the guys. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So, what do you see the future of the Arena League football? I know again, Jacksonville's always had a strong franchise.
In our league, there's talk of merger, talk of new teams. We should have at least 10 or 12 teams next year. We lost 2 teams this year, but we didn't lose the fans because the fans, they want to watch your team play, and the teams that dropped out weren't in competition anyway, and the owners were just wannabes, and you can't be a wannabe. And so now they're going to make sure that they vest these guys in more, like through a questionnaire, not just a hello, hey, you got $100,000, come on in. And not going to be, that door's not going to be open anymore. It's going to be, you got to show the money. You got to show a 3-year deal, money for 3 years, or you don't play. And we've got owners that can do that. And our staff has been, matter of fact, we just had this past year, our media director, Steven Strastola, went over and is with the media department with the Jags now, a big job.
Oh, wow.
So we've ran some guys through our system here. Our interns, we get the best. And we've had he's a manager, and he's got 5 guys on him: baseball players, football players, and hockey players. So these kids come over with the desire to do that. My desire, I tell everybody, I went in the 9th grade, but I had the desire. I learned a lot of my stuff on the street. I went to the University of STREET. I graduated.
I think that's amazing to have reached the ranks that you are. And I know where you were back when we were kids, and seeing you PRing for a AA professional baseball team. I just think that's pretty solid. So
God looked over me so much, I owe him so much, and I don't have nothing to pay him but my soul.
Amen. So what's the time frame of the Arena Football League? What is your team's Arena League name? What is the name of the Arena League that you guys play in?
We're in the National Arena League, which we formed it. Our owner formed it off when the Arena Football League went to sleep. So our guys put the league together, and it's working, and they've made it stay, and it's going to just grow. Next year, like I said, we'll have 10 to 12 teams in the league.
Tim, how do you guys rank in attendance across the league?
We're number 1. We draw 8,000 a game. Saturday night should be packed to the house.
Yeah, I've seen, especially during this championship run, I've been watching. Anthony will tell me what time you guys are on, and I go to YouTube TV and check you guys out. And I say, man, this is good, and I like their promotions, but it's not like the home team. You guys, y'all are the stuff. Y'all got it going on, and I just like what I'm seeing there.
Talking about Anthony, you asked me about naming players. I guarantee you, if you got Anthony on the phone right now, he'd name every player on our team.
Oh, you know it. Better than that, Tim. He
You gotta
probably
have,
has bought a jersey of,
yeah,
of, of,
yes.
of half of the guys that's ever played there.
We got into conversation a couple times, and he said, "Well, well, what's the number?" I said, "Whoa, don't ask me no about names." But he can tell you, and he can tell you their stats.
Wow, yeah, that he can. He really follows you guys. I was I home the other week when he went down to Orlando to the game?
Yeah,
I was home
yeah, you were
when
home.
he went down to Orlando to the game the
I
other
can't
day. He
wait
was
for the all get together one day and see each other. You need to tell him, call me Saturday when he gets to the game. Make sure he calls me before kickoff, and I'll go over and give him a hug for the family.
I'll make sure I do that, Tim. He will absolutely love that. He'll love
Yeah.
that.
Tell him, holler at me. I'll come over and see him.
So what time do the gates and what festivities you guys have planned for for Saturday night championship
O'clock,
game?
we do a walkthrough with the fans where they can walk through the kids and walk on the field with the players. And our entrance is really big. We got the light show, and the fireworks, and it's just it's really. We do something every break we have. We give away something, or we have a contest, and it's never a dull moment. And then at the end, we get close. Sweet Caroline, the song. We play when you
Yeah,
start.
I've seen that in the games.
Yeah, when you start here on the call for that song, everybody's good. We can go home now.
Oh man, that's so. Tim, your season starts. Training camp starts when?
We start in March, the end of March, and we start our season in April.
Oh wow! And you run all the way up until basically in the summer. So in football crazed Duval right now, where the Jags are playing good football, they never take a break. Basically, do they? They run all right from the season. How about this?
A lot of the Jag players come over and watch our games. Believe it or not, they come over. They're a good bunch of guys. They come over and watch our team, support it.
You guys have an awesome product. I can see that. What do you, Tim? What any predictions on the game Saturday night?
You know what? Like I said earlier, the only team that can beat our team is our team. And I think I called last week's game as 63-43, and I missed our score by 1 point. We scored 62, but we didn't. They didn't score 43. They only scored 18, which I'm glad I lost that one. I'm saying this week we should beat Carolina by 11 points.
Well, now you know that for a guy like me who's trying to learn arena league football and the scoring and everything, that you guys have a different skill because you guys run up the points so high. I mean, it's almost like basketball scores sometimes. At the end of the third quarter, you guys were up like 50-something to 60 the other night or something.
Yes. Yeah. And I'm not laughing to be funny. I'm just laughing because I called that game so bad. Our guys went in the locker room and said, "You could have at least after we run the score on them, let them score 3 more touchdowns where I could have won."
Well, I am so looking forward to. I am so looking forward to celebrating with you over the phone and maybe getting you back on in the next couple of weeks to talk about the great season that you have. Win, lose, or draw. Of course, we only think we're going to win, but win, lose, or draw. It's been a successful season. And Tim, I just want to thank you, man. Any parting words you want to leave with the Dozie Land before tonight?
Thank you so much for thinking about me, man. You guys have always been gentlemen, and I just appreciate you. We don't forget you can watch the game on YouTube. Just go to YouTube and NAL football or Jack Sharks versus Columbia. Carolina. I'm sorry. Let me get that right. Jacksonville versus Carolina Cobras. And the game starts at 7, and you can watch it all completely on YouTube.
Yeah, and if you forget that, just put Jack's Sharks live.
There you go. Jack Sharks live.
You're right there.
Part you guys know and I don't.
Tim, bless you, man. Congratulations on a great season. Continue doing a great work, and we love you, man.
Love you guys. How's your mama? Can I ask you that?
Mama is doing well. She's going through a little bout of she had a little illness. She's back up and pushing it again. We had a little family setback. We're gonna be all right. Mama's doing well. Thank you.
Well, tell her I love her and I love you guys, and thank you for thinking about me.
I will, Tim. And one more thing, don't tell nobody. It should be 93 Saturday.
Oh my God!
So that'll be you guys. Wow. That'll be her that'll be one of her birthday presents.
And I want to thank you guys for praying for my wife. She's been cancer free, and she goes about every 90 days to be checked on, and she's cancer free.
Bless God,
Thank
Tim. Bless God. Tim. We love you, man.
Guys.
Give her a hug from all of us.
I'll do it. Thank you. Thanks, Dozy.
Thank you for joining us. We love you, Tim. We'll holler at you, bro.
Thank you, buddy. Have a good one.
Bye-bye now. Dialogue with Dozy. That was Tim Johnson. Tim is like family to us. Forgive us that we get up close and personal, but he is a real bruh to us, and he has been that for us for a long, long time, and we just celebrate him and just glad in the success that they're having and the championship that they're about to win on this Saturday night. The Jacksonville Sharks as they take on the Carolina Cobras, 7 o'clock YouTube. Be there and watch them win the championship. And they're setting the stage for the Jacksonville Jaguars to win while the Steelers are on their way back up. And, well, we'll leave that at that right now. Okay, we're going to hear word from our sponsor. We're moving on. I see our other guest is in the studio. He's going to be he is a hilarious brother, a smart man. He's just going to tell you some of the great things that's happening with him in his career. Daryl Bradford, the comedian, Daryl, the comedian, be with us on the other side of the break. GoGigaWorld.com. They're the ones who make this show look good. They've been doing it for the 3 years that we've been on. GoGigaWorld.com. They got all of your virtual needs. Latoya's and Markia and team. They got your virtual needs. They got your web design. They got everything to make you and your business look good. GoGigaCreations.com. Thank you for them. So tonight, before our guest comes on, it's a dang dog. In tonight's dang dog is our dog, Donald John Trump. Trump, you called a dang dog for two reasons. Number one, we decided over the summer that the dialogue was going to give politics a break. We're going to give hard news a break. There's a lot of tragedies, a lot of stuff, a lot of things going on. But we decided we were going to make nothing but light shows as much as we could during the summer. But you wouldn't allow us to do it. You have been indicted 3 times. Dang, dog, you're killing us. And not only that, you appeared before a judge who didn't play. She was so serious that she didn't appear. She sent a message to another judge. And I felt that all the way down here, how serious she was when she said that we're starting a certain time and we're not doing this and we're not doing that. I felt how serious she was. But dang, dog, you couldn't sit still. You had to try the lady. You had to test her. So what do? You put up this tweet. You threaten a DA. You tell a DA, well, not the DA, a federal prosecutor. You tell him, if you go after me, I'm coming after you. Dang, dog, you just don't understand. You just don't get it. You try anybody. You try everybody. You think because you fly around with a plane that has your name blazed all over it, you got an umbrella with your name over it, you got a valet who holds the umbrella for you while you get out the car, that you can do anything and say anything you want to anybody. Dang, dog, gotta warn you, it's not gonna work this time. And here's the reason you're in a dang dog instead of a are you serious tonight? Because I kind of like you. I like the fact that you're not in office and you can't get us in a war or you can't sell us out to President Putin over there. But dang dog, I like the fact that you bring a lot of humor. You got these humorous names for people. You kind of like your own man. I just don't want you behind the Oval Office, behind the desk at the Oval Office. But dang dog, if you were running against Governor Despicable here from Florida, if it was structurally or politically possible that you all were running against each other, dang dog, I'd be the biggest MAGA fan that there ever was. I'd be wearing a MAGA hat, a MAGA shirt. I'd be doing MAGA shows on the dialogue. You get our full attention because anybody but him. But dang dog, he just won't listen. So now you're in hot water with the judge. Your attorneys have a few hours to get this briefing in, or guess what? You might be going to jail for contempt of court before any of these 3 and 4th trial is coming up. Dang dog, can you stay out of trouble till at least you get to your first trial? Donald Trump, would you do that for us? Dang dog. All right, having a little fun. Didn't want to get too serious tonight, but I want to have some more fun. In the night is our brother Daryl the comedian, and he hails from Houston, Texas. He has got an awesome schedule going on right now, so he may be kind of remote with us. He consented to come on with us kind of at the last minute. I want to tell you all, this brother is seriously funny. He's in the funny of what Rich was. He's in the funny of what Martin Lawrence was at one point, what Bernie Mac was. He is on his way up. Daryl Bradford, Lil Daryl, a comedian. Daryl, what's up, man?
What's going on? You can hear me?
Yes, sir. We got you good, brother. How you doing?
Man, I'm all right. I appreciate y'all having me.
We appreciate
all the way
you.
Out there in Florida.
We appreciate you coming on, man. You are you actually in H-Town tonight?
Yes, I'm in Houston. I'm here most of the time. I got not triplets. I got twins and a 4-year-old, so I don't get allowed to leave the house too often.
Well, don't tell nobody, but my partner, my brother KV, was doing granddaddy duty tonight. So he's been doing a little babysit. So that's why he's not with us. And congratulations on the twins. I've been monitoring you from the marriage to the first child to the twins. Thank you for sharing with us like on social media and stuff. So congratulations on there.
Oh yeah, I like to spread that black love and black excellence when I can.
Thanks, Daryl. Got to tell y'all, Dozan, Kim and I met Daryl when we worked at the new comedy club in Jacksonville with Dean Richards, and he came with 2 other comics along with Lil Tommy and Nephew Tommy. My goodness, I know better. Nephew Tommy just saw him. Daryl, you might have heard me talking to our previous guests about my mother. We were riding from North Carolina one time. We were coming from Smoky Mountains. And we were just playing. We probably played back to back Nephew Tommy prank calls.
Prank calls, yeah.
Man, she was falling out. So we played a couple of other day while I was up there. But we got a clip we want to show our audience so they can just get a glimpse into how funny you are. This is with Tommy. This is when Daryl was. When we were together in Jacksonville in 2018, I think it was.
Yeah, about that time.
Yeah, man, that's pre-pandemic. We went to the new comedy club, and actually Kim and I escorted he and Miss Pretty Ricky out to the car where they were leaving because we kept extending them. They were so funny. They kept extending their shows beyond their original booked time, and the parking lot was full. We kind of like saw them to the car. And they cut this. We didn't know they were doing this. They did this in the car. And we can go to the video right now. This is pretty funny.
I just want to see how beautiful you are. You know that I see it. I know you're a star. Where you go, I'll follow, no matter how far. If life was a movie, then you're the best part. Oh, you're the best part.
Baby. First off, You ain't tell me they just sold the middle part. Let me have some.
Nigga, no. Tried it. That is fine. I love you.
So you know comedy is funny when you see a joke over and over and you laugh at it every time. That was kind of something I thought they did kind of inadvertently and put it on social media. And you guys actually cut in the parking lot, leaving out of the club that night, if I'm not mistaken, Daryl.
I said we still was waiting on to get a little check or a little endorsement from Cinnabon, but whatever, they ain't never hit us, but that's cool.
Oh man. Well, I was telling my daughter, Madam Producer, today. I said, I wonder if we can slide that video by, because it's got the background of her singing the song, and I hadn't heard it in a while. Had not heard it in a while before listening to it. Let's say, dog, that's actually Sis singing that herself.
Yeah, that was her. Right there, no auto tune, no nothing, just right on the camera.
Off the chain.
My girl, Pretty Ricky.
Miss Pretty Ricky. So she was hilarious, and you guys was with a third guy, tall fella.
My guy, Celebrity from Dallas.
That's right. He was funny, and little Daryl was absolutely off the chain hilarious. Daryl, you did. Tell us about physical comedy. You did a lot of physical stuff. You had this one skit when you were where you were imitating the board, putting something on the board.
Oh, my nines. When the teacher tell you to go to the board and do your multiplication tables, and she pick you on the multiplications that the ones you really don't know, like the 7s, the 8s, and the 9s. And, you got to go up there and try to know, not knowing what you're doing, but still go up there anyway. Yeah, that physical comedy, I don't even be trying to do that. It just depends on what the joke is, and I like to give people a visual with the jokes, because I know a lot of people like to imagine, they laugh harder when they can see the joke, So I like to try to paint the picture as much as I can, even other than just my words. Like, I like to try to act out everything, because I'm an actor too, so I like to combine both. So that give me the opportunity to showcase both skills at the same time. So
we're going to talk about that, but we want to say to you, man, we appreciate you coming on. We knew that you had, just like we did, had a death in the family, and you had an obligation, and you were kind enough, in spite of all of it, to come on the show. So you're driving, so please be safe. We can hear you.
Safe. I got my seatbelt on.
Yeah. Oh man, we're gonna have a ball. We got to get you on at a later date with Antoine Murphy, who's a house comedian.
Okay, and most definitely.
He was scheduled on. We actually, while I was in Duval a few weeks ago, we ran into him, and he agreed right on the spot to join KV and I think it was that same night, or maybe we saw him at the end of the weekend, and he was gonna come on that Monday night. And at the time, Apple products were having problems signing on with our software, so we worked that out. So we're going to bring him back on, but later on in the thing, we want to bring. Daryl, tell us about this great schedule that you have, and I wish I had gotten a graphic. You put a graphic on social media, and you told us somebody said you wouldn't get this far. Kind of tell us about.
Oh man, I had a family member tell me actually about another, and when I said I put up some stuff with my schedule, because I heard somebody was like, oh, he ain't gonna never make it big. He's just gonna be doing the little bitty shows and staying local and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, I tell you what, since I ain't doing nothing, I put my schedule up, all my dates through June and July, and I say when I get back and have time to address it, I will. But that was me addressing it low key. But the crazy part, a lot of people always talk about they got haters, and I'll be like, well, who the haters? Because they always talk about the haters, but never can identify the haters. So I never say that unless I really have a hater, and I don't normally have them speak up, but somebody told me that I had one. And the crazy part, everybody was like, well, who is it? Who is it? I was like, I can't even really tell y'all, but overall, it was a family member actually that said I wasn't gonna, pretty much make it too far. So I'd be like, it'd be your own people or some people that you think real close to you that be your biggest haters instead of your biggest supporters sometimes.
Well, I looked at the schedule and it looked like you were pretty much tied up for about 2 or 3 months.
Yeah, by June, July, and pretty much August, because next week I go back to Greenville, and then after that we in Washington D.C. And before that I was with St. Louis, Killeen, what's that? Tennessee, Austin, Dallas, and the list goes on. Not to mention I had a movie dropping that same week, so that was pretty fun. The backdoor and post. Oh yeah, I also got a movie coming out for any of the haters that had something to say.
Tell us a little bit about the flick, because I saw that.
It's a movie. It's called H-Town. It came out on Tubi and Peacock, but like even myself, I went and watched it on Tubi because it's free. But it is on Peacock, Tubi. It's not my first movie, but it is my first movie with that's a really big role. I play something that's not a funny actor. a funny part or nothing like that. I'm real serious. I'm actually kind of like the bad guy or the villain or the antagonist or however you want to put it. That's it right there. And that was my first time actually making a cover. That's me in the red hat. So, and it's been doing really good. It's already on the most popular list on Tubi, and it's only been out since August 1st. So I'm really excited. I've been getting a lot of good feedback on the movie, on my character personally. A lot of people, like family, they was like, people get carried away with the movie and forget that, it's just acting, and people talking about they've been screaming at the screen. I ain't gonna tell y'all why, because that'll give it away. So y'all just gotta go check it out. H-Town on Tubi or Peacock. But I had fun with that one. I got another one called Double Cup dropping with Slim Thug, the rapper. And another one called Masquerade. They all dropping this year before the end of the year.
So this is what I want to say to our audience in Dozyland. Please. He told you could do it on Tubi.
Tubi.
I
Tubi.
Do. Yeah. So I got Peacock, and I'm probably going to see it in the next 24 hours, like maybe tonight when I sign off this show and get some food.
Go look at it on Peacock, so we could run some of the numbers up on Peacock, so they could be like, okay, they coming over here to watch. They're actually paying to watch.
I got you, and if my other half is already going in for the night, then we'll come back and see it again together later. So that'll help the numbers even more. And
don't even tell her you watched it. Do like I do and just act like this the first time. Be like, hey, babe, I heard of this good movie. Let's watch it. Because, they be mad if you watched it before they watched it.
I got you. That's the way we do that. That's the way we'll do that. So, and on that tip, I want to say this to all of our viewers. Unfortunately, or fortunately for the writers and the actors who stand to gain, we're in the throes of a writer's strike and an actor's strike. So there will be a lot of content that you're expecting to see in the next few weeks. Normally, annually, you see new stuff coming on. You're not gonna see it because there's a strike. Man, support our brothers and sisters on these platforms. There's a lot of stuff that are lesser known titles. If you see people who look like us in there, check them out. They'll be on several of the networks. Not the ones that we're seeing, but stuff like Peacock, a lot of the streaming services. Go on and view that content and bless our brothers by what Daryl just said, by looking at their stuff and telling somebody else about it.
That's it. And that's free to support. That's where a lot of people be thinking that support is expensive, but support is probably the cheapest, most valuable thing you could do, because the more people share this movie, watch this movie, when they do get out the writer's strike or whenever it ends, they're going to be, right now they got to look at something. And they're going to look at our stuff and maybe be like, hey, I like him. We need to get him on something when this little strike over with, when we dropping some bigger productions with more bigger budgets, I'd say, that, to get bigger stuff. But I'm so proud of all of the entrepreneurs and self-made producers and directors and writers that wasn't in the industry before the strike anyway, but found a way to get in while they was out with the platform saying, well, look, we just do it out on our own. And that's something we good for, is coming up with stuff on our own and making a way when it ain't a way.
Hey, P. Diddy and them got on those corners and sold their CDs and stuff and made it work. Spike got in the thing. Netflix has been good to our people. They've signed a lot of people to Tyler Perry's over there doing stuff. Shonda Rhimes. Listen, the opportunities are there, but we got to support our artists. And listen, believe me, we worked that club for about a year before I think the Plaza had an accident. It caught fire, and then they shut the club down. And then as soon as they were ready to open back up, the pandemic came. So, but there was some great young talent that came through. There was some of the guys, J. Anthony Browns. I can't think of the guy, Tommy, that used to be all the time. He was always
Tommy Davidson.
Not Tommy Davidson. He was Lewis was his last name. I can't think of his name. But all these guys came through. But I'm talking about this young talent. We call it DC Young Fly and them when they were kind of DC and Carlos and those guys, 85 South, when they were just getting out on the circuit, doing their own things. In fact, they were the first act that I worked. Oh my gosh, what is the guy's name? He is like crazy hilarious out of Kansas, St. Louis. Lavelle Crawford.
Lavelle, yeah.
And listen,
super hilarious.
They kept getting extended. They kept extending dates. It was like crazy. They were so funny. But they did the same thing with you guys. And here's what I liked about. I knew. In a comedy club, maybe sometimes somebody may drink a little bit more and get a little excited, but we didn't have too many problems there. But our ears perked when Tommy came on stage and had to make a statement, because I guess someone had complained that we bought a ticket to see Tommy and you brought all of these other comics up.
I remember that.
You remember that? And he gave a statement that Daryl, I'll never forget. He said, my uncle taught me, because he helped get me in the door. And he taught me that if I can't help others, then I'm not worth a hill of beans. And somewhere I saw something that you did where you said a similar thing. And I know you're still ascending yourself. And I just love that reach one, everybody grab one and bring one up with you. I just love that the way you guys do that.
Most definitely.
Listen, we're running out of time, but tell us a little bit, Daryl. And again, man, thank you so much. You see,
that's coming up. I get to work with a legend.
Do you see the people he's with? And listen, he's saying I get to work with them, but when it's all said and done, they're gonna say, "Man, I got to work with this dude. You got to book him. You got to bring him in. He's off the chain. He's like." One of these days, he's not going to have to be working anywhere else or doing anything else or working just weekends. he's going to have to hire people to help take care of his young kids because he's just that funny. He's
I'm looking
just
for nannies right now.
He's just we got what we didn't do tonight, and we'll do this when we bring you Antoine back. Is do a stint, do a clip from your stand up.
Oh yeah,
We
most
want
definitely.
them to know just how funny you really are. And there you're doing a cruise ship over later in the year, correct?
Yeah, next year March, gonna be all going to Carnival Cruise, the Cozumel. I'm gonna be doing like a two-day performances while on the boat. First time, I'm excited about that.
So my wife and I, she drugged me along, and now I'm hooked. We're ferocious, living down in South Florida. We're ferocious cruisers. They're like 4 ports within 2 hours.
The boats just flying in and out there.
Yeah, Fort Lauderdale, and a lot of the cruises are leaving here right out of Fort Lauderdale in Miami, and our Port Canaveral is right up there. And if you want to, Tampa's across the bay. So there are a lot of places right here to cruise out of, and we do 2 or 3 cruises. And I'm telling you, I have seen several. I'm going to make my mama start the night show. We had her on the Allure. She went on the Allure with us several years. Well, right before the pandemic, right before the pandemic. And she was so excited. We were so excited to have her at the comedy show. I was just saying, I hope they got this thing clean, because Mama said she didn't want to hear all of this. Right. We were sitting back there like sleeping. I was thinking, as this dude tried to cap on my mama because she's sleeping, because I'm sleeping on you too, dude, because you're horrible. So the last cruise that we just did, the Panama Canal, back in March, and it was a brother out of Chicago. We kind of shared some things, so we did a stint outside of Chicago. And we talked a lot. He spent a lot of time, my wife and I, and talked about the life of it. I want to tell you, outside of him and maybe one other dude, there's nobody going to be any funnier you than we've heard, and we've heard quite a few.
Oh, man. Appreciate that.
So I'm telling you, the Carnival Cruise over there, the Cozumel, it's going to be exciting, and you can get ready, Daryl. You're going to have to, what's going to happen, I know you soon will have a manager and an agent and all of that stuff, and they're going to be telling you got to make a decision. You want to do cruises, you want to do weekend clubs, because that's what it's going to come to for you.
And the crazy part, the only one time I went on the cruise, my people took me after I graduated college. Yeah, I think it was college. Or was it? It was one of them, college, I think. And I went to one of the shows, and this was before I even started coming. I was like, man, I'm gonna come back. I want to do one of these one time. I bet. And I was at a little show they had, and I was just being myself, and people was just laughing at me. They was like, "Boy, you was funnier than the people on stage." I was like, "I'll be on here one day," and that was like December 2009. And now look at it. You just gotta speak it to manifest it, and once you put them words in the air, it'll take off and where it's supposed to go.
God got it. God got it. Daryl, the clock beat us upside the head too quick tonight. But again, we are going to ask you to come back. We're going to hook up with Antoine again. We got all that stuff worked out. Sometime maybe in the fall when your schedule kind of slacks, I'm going to get you guys in and come on. We'll just do a comedy off. We'll do an hour of nothing but comedy if you're game.
I'm down for that.
Okay. And my daughter, producer, doesn't know. She was almost born in Clutch City.
She missed out on being a legend, man. God,
man. So we were living in Daytona at the time, and that was when the Love You. That may be before it predates you, Daryl. That was when the Love You Blue thing was being when Big Earl Campbell was running with the. That
was a little bit before my time, but I know about it.
Yeah, Robert Reed and Moses Malone was doing it with the in fact, it was a police job, and the guys took me out one night. I went out there for my 2 days of interviews, and the guys took me to a game. I got to see the Rockets play. So Moses, I got to see Junior Richards. That through all of that fire with the Astros, they knew how to hook me. I fell in love with all of the sports teams out there. So it just so happened that Daytona, where I had applied, called me. the second day I was out there, and I came on back, and I ended up doing 7 years there until I went off to grad school. But that's another thing. But I've always had a love for Harris County, man. Always loved them. So,
Oh, you know, you was in the city. You called
yeah,
it
I
Harris
was. I
County.
was like, I was that close to being there. That we were coming back, and we. In fact, you know what? We went out there, and we got hired. Came back to Florida, and then after 2 years, I applied again, and they basically hired me right on the spot this time. And we packed the apartment up. That was the time when the wife was carrying the producer. And we went out. The interview process was just a formality and everything. But when I got back, I retired. I resigned. The last night I worked, the chief of police called me up in his office, and he said, "If you'll stay, I'll make you a detective." And that's all I ever wanted to be. So I stayed. So, but that's just how close. So twice. This time we really almost went out there.
Well, if I get in some trouble in Harris County, I'm gonna just throw your little name out there.
Well,
see if I get out there, see if they let me back out the little squad car.
That I'm 97 years old or something like that.
That's all right. Once a cop, once a detective, always a detective. They're gonna look your records up. They're gonna see if I'm lying.
Oh, but yeah, I was almost there. I was that close. Hey, Daryl, we can't go out without you sharing a little something, a little funny with us before we sign off tonight. So give us a little piece of what you do, man.
Man, listen, y'all, I give y'all a piece of advice. And I share a little gem with y'all since I'm a new recent rental home owner. As you know, I learned a few things being a rental home owner. I learned like what the word fluctuate meaning my light bill in the winter months won't be the same as it is in the summer months. It just might fluctuate on you, and then you got to do something called another word I learned was a payment plan. And what else? Also, I learned you can't put an extension on the extension. Thanks to Sprint. And that's how I ended up with T-Mobile. But you know, I can't.
y'all just got a taste of. I tell you, got a real taste. I want to thank you more than gracious, because this is really last minute booking, and you came on. We really appreciate it. We're gonna grab Twine and bring you all on somewhere over in the fall, because what we're gonna have to do. We've been doing all light shows. Your boy Donald Trump, everybody was giving them a break during the summer. But in a few weeks, we're gonna ramp it up, and we're gonna need a show to laugh to kind of take a break from all the heavy stuff that's going on. Daryl Bradford, man, God bless you, your wife, your 3 children. Thank you so kindly, man. And you always giving props to your mother. Rest in peace. We are just appreciate you, man, and your spirit. And go out and conquer this world, big bro.
I appreciate y'all for having me. God bless y'all. Stay safe. And stay funny. Laugh to cure the soul. And always, whatever you do, just make sure you make your mama proud.
That's his thing. Little Daryl, the comedian. Thank you, bro. God bless you, man.
Bless you.
Thank you. So this is just a great way to end the show tonight with a great brother. I mean, his spirit. And when I say he's on his way up, I've been fortunate now for 18 years to do this high school football thing. I coached some kids in Gray Wire football that went on to make it big. My brother was one of them. I coached my brother, KV. He's done great things in life. I've coached some kids here in high school. Been fortunate enough to coach one kid that the year that he graduated from college, his first year in the league, we saw him when he was with the Miami Dolphins. Next thing we saw him flying back later that season across back to Kansas City, holding the Vince Lombardi. Seen some people on the way up. But when I tell you that this brother is on the way up, not only is he on the way up because of his talent, but he has a great heart and a great spirit. That's how I see it. Tim Johnson, just a friend to the end. Go Sharks. That's winning that title tonight. This has been Dialogue with Dozie. You will see us. We've been taking it easy, but we got a lot of stuff to come back. President Trump, stay out of jail, please. don't go to jail before you at least get the trial first. Dialogue with Dozy. We got you next Monday night. See you 8 o'clock. We love you. Bless you.